Oh my God, I can't wait to watch this, and it has been a lot of great episodes and great stories I'm sure we're going to hear from behind the scenes. So without further ado, here comes Sean Pertwee. So have a seat, gentlemen. Oh my gosh, hello. Now, I don't see microphones set up at the front here, but usually how it works, especially for a crowd this big, is if you got a question, come up to the front of your aisle, and then it's just a single file line, and we go back and forth with questions. So if you want to get lined up for questions, you can do that right now. I'm going to get things started out with one question. Like you might have heard me mention to these folks, Gotham, the whole concept of it was just like so exciting as a fan to get into and excited for. I guess what I want to know is, were you guys fans of this stuff ahead of time, or what did you bring to it, like when you heard that they were going to be making the show and you were going to be a part of it?
Well, we didn't actually know. We sort of heard in the ether there was a show, a style show, sort of rocking around, but we didn't know what it was or what the sort of the situations would be. But in answer to your other kind of question, yeah, I mean, I used to watch. I think that's enduring legacy of Batman, isn't it? Really, it's appealed to people for 76 years. And when I grew up down in West, and I thought that was deeply cool. You know, I, like any other kid of my age, was bouncing around sofas and things with an apron on. You know what I'm talking about. And so I think that's the thing. It always morphs with each generation to sort of accommodate each generation's needs, and it's because it's the little guy, it's the guy standing up to the little guy and saying enough is enough. I think that's an enduring legacy of it, and that's why it's an honour to be here, being involved in it.
So David, you don't quite have that same level of personal history just owing to your age, but like how much of like a Batman fan level did you bring to it when you kind of heard the news and got that role?
When I first booked the role.
Can you guys hear him?
There's a training.
Sorry. When I first got the role, Batman was always my favorite superhero ever since I was, baby, but that's why I specified. But I was never. I watched all the movies. I watched all the Christian Bale movies because they had all come out by the time. Well, like the first one came out when I was really young. Anyway, I'd seen them all and I loved them. But I really got to be a Batman fan once I booked the role because I wanted to do my share of research, and I wanted to know what I was stepping into, and I really realized the huge deal that we were doing. It wasn't just any other television show. This was, we were walking into a franchise with, like Sean said, at that time, 75 years of fans, for a very, very good reason. Anyways, I've become a huge Batman fan. I now read comic books all the time out of pure enjoyment, and yeah, for research a little bit.
You are actually Batman.
I know that for me personally, I could literally spend the whole afternoon just asking you guys the most inane questions about life on set and Batman, this and that, but these guys probably got a lot more questions and we don't want to waste any more time. So let's just start with the front of the line right here.
Hi, I was wondering, could I ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one, for both, what model of Alfred and Bruce Wayne do you guys try to follow, or either from the comics or TV shows, like, or yes?
No, so it was really interesting process because, like I said earlier on, that we didn't know what we were auditioning for. But obviously, David probably had a better idea. My audition speech or piece was a generic page about a guy walking into a pub and smashing someone in the larynx. What's this about? And then eventually I was called down to, I was doing a show called Elementary, they called me down to LA, and I saw Danny Cannon, who I'd done a couple of movies with, and Bruno Heller walked past, and I said, look, I said, what are you doing here? And they said, so I'll show you, idiot. What show is it? They went, Gotham. I went, yeah, but who's that guy? And they went, that's Alfred. So it was what they were doing was they wrote these generic pieces about, they were trying to find, they were cherry picking elements of our characters because we're preceding anything that's been seen before. They wanted to see elements of their interpretation, or in fact, our interpretation, sort of flattering ourselves as though our own trumpets. So they wanted to see the natural progression. We know where these characters end up, but we don't know how they get there. And so the thing was, they wanted to give Alfred, my Alfred, like a real sort of sense of history. Why would the richest man in the world have like a Spike East End company looking after the richest child in the world, and his greatest sort of his greatest legacy and the most important thing in his life? Why, and that's the questions they asked themselves: is why would we be there? So in answer to your question, we know where they end up. So we weren't really following the canon per se. And I think a lot of fans were really freaked out when they first saw our interpretation of it, because he wasn't very good at his parenting skills have got a lot to be desired.
Oh, they're fantastic. You're my favorite, Alfred.
You can come again.
And sorry, the second question. Bruce Wayne, if you had ever met Clark Kent at your age, how would that? Would you guys be close friends? How would?
I think they'd be best friends. Yeah. I mean, Batman vs Superman played Gotham Metropolis as twin cities, like San Francisco, Oakland kind of situation. So I don't understand why Clark can't take a boat ride across the bay and come to Gotham for an episode.
Go cape shopping.
Yeah.
Scoop for next season.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's take one from this side.
Okay, hi. My name is Sophia. I'm from Mexico. I'm so happy to be here. And my brothers and I grew up watching Batman, but it was always